Yes! Yes! My stock has risen in its share price. So that must absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, mean that my company that I've invested in must be doing pretty well for itself financially. Right? Wrong. It's not always the case. What? Hi guys, it's your favourite YouTuber again, Dami Solari, and you're watching DS Learning Finance. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Unfortunately, the stock market is not always as clear as you would like it to be. Think of it as the English weather. At one moment in time, you can have beautiful, blissful weather, and then another moment, you can have terrible weather to such a state that you're actually taking your second shower for the day outside in your clothes because of it. No shade. Simply put, the share price does not give you a full story of a company's financial health. Sometimes a share price going up can mean yes, the company's doing well, but then there are other times, deceptively, where the share price going up doesn't necessarily mean that the company's doing well. In actual fact, some companies may be doing terribly during that period. Most of the causes of this is actually down to public perception. Yes, our perception of a piece of information, a piece of news, whatever it is about that particular company. That's what actually causes the share price to increase. There are tons of reasons, so many, too many to count to be exact. But some of the popular ones I'm gonna list for you guys. One, takeovers / mergers. You have investors that really act on an impulse because they've gotten word that there's going to be a takeover, or there's going to be a merger between these two companies or multiple companies. And so you have investors acting on impulse, yes, acting on emotions, trying to get that quick bargain because they know if it does happen, generally speaking, the share price tends to go up. So you have investors that basically try to catch the wave early, and then obviously you hope things to pay off in the long run. So that's one reason. A second reason is dividends. Yep, free money for investors for a particular stock. Generally speaking, investors tend to really pile into stocks before the ex-dividend date so that they can get that free money. So what that therefore does is it causes the share price to increase for a period, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the company is doing well. It's just because the company is giving investors free money. Third reason is us. Yes, us and our gaps. We feel that we have to impose our thoughts, our beliefs on other people. So by that I mean, like, in particular news websites or investor related websites that heavily focus on a small group of stocks, whereas there's really a big pond, a big like ocean to swim with, to invest in. There are so many companies, but yet some of these news websites, some of these investor related companies, they tend to focus on these small groups and obviously hype them up to a stage where they're bigger than what they've been hyped up to. So literally you're so hyped up, you're running on air. And what you have is vulnerable investors, gullible investors, lazy investors that obviously catch wind of this information, and therefore they think, instead of doing all the research, let me skip past that and go straight to that company because, hey, this website said it's good, hey, this person said it's good, hey, the news is saying it's good, it must be good, right? No, it's not necessarily going to be good. And so if you have multiple investors doing that, that can definitely cause the share price to increase. A fourth reason is CEO activities, so executive director activities for that particular company. Now, you guys know it, the stock market, websites, trading platforms, they always let us know, us investors know of what the executive and directors are doing in terms of buying / selling shares. Now, if you have BP stocks, for example, and you have the director of BP stocks buying tons of shares, let's say, put it into perspective, 10,000 shares. Yeah, that's a lot, guys. And so what that will make investors do is, okay, because the director is buying tons of shares, he must surely know about something. He must have some inside information about that particular stock, right? Yet again, guys, no. Just because an executive is buying shares or selling shares, whatever he's doing for his company, doesn't necessarily mean that that's a direct correlation with basically what you should do. In fact, it can actually be opposite. So when you think about it, if a director is buying tons of shares, maybe it's because they know that you guys might pay attention to that and therefore fall into that same trap as well and buy more shares, where in actuality the company's not doing as well. But just that little form of action from a director or executive can really influence the share price. That's one point. And the second point is, it's illegal. Yeah, to have inside information on a company before the rest of investors, the rest of the public know about it, is classified illegal. That doesn't necessarily mean that just because the executive is buying tons of shares, you should go the other way. No, it could mean that you go that way with the executive. But what I'm trying to say is you should find that decision out for yourself. Not because the executive's doing it or director, because you know. If you sit down and really analyze all of these reasons, then you'll notice that there's a reoccurring theme. They all rely on us investors, our perception of a certain piece of information, which isn't necessarily always the truth, and vice versa too. I know, it's a bit puzzling, isn't it? Why that is the case, but yeah, it just is. There are tons of stocks like this in the stock market. I've had a look. I'm not saying every stock, that's important, not saying every stock, but there are quite a bit around like this. Yeah, I sort of think of it kind of like music. You know when you find a really good tune, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like you're proper early on it, you proper put on your Inspector Gadget glasses and like proper found a good tune, and you found it early and no one else knows about it. And then like maybe like a year on or like a few months down the line, that's when it starts to get millions and billions of views, and you're just like, been there, done that. I've noticed this from the get-go. That's kind of how it is in the stock market. So like, just because no one else sees that, sees what you see in that thing, in that stock in this case, doesn't necessarily mean that it's not a good stock. It's kind of like my rap career. Like, a lot of people have turned me down and said that I ain't gonna be nothing, but I know I'm gonna be something. Like, I rap every time I hop in the shower and I make beautiful music, but I just know, I know that people are gonna be slow in it to pick up with the music. But I have faith in you guys, because I know one day you're gonna really put me up there with all the greats, you know what I mean? Because I'm destined to be great. So you might find that you've done the right research, you might find that this company is doing extremely well financially, but it just doesn't reflect in the share price. But what you've got to know is that months down the line, a year down the line, however long it takes, eventually the public will pick up and they will catch on to see the things that you see in that company and reflect it in a positive trend in the share price. So don't be discouraged if your share price isn't going up as high as you like, or it's not going the way that you like for a particular stock, as long as you have done the research in that stock. Oh my lord, it is hot. But anyways, Dami Solari, your favorite YouTuber. I really like saying that. It's got a nice ring to it, don't you think? Dami Solari, your favorite YouTuber? Good gosh. But yeah, I talk about stock market investments, I talk about property investments and financial management too, giving you that consistent content, you know? But yeah, before you can leave, before you can go about doing whatever you're gonna do for the rest of the day or night, if you're a night person, you know what to do. Hit that like button, make sure you subscribe it, and also make sure you share with other people, yeah? You can't be greedy, you can't have me to yourself. You gotta share me, guys. DS Learning Finance. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bye.